What is up everyone and welcome back to episode number 13 of Building Coruscant: The Hunt for Ahsoka. If this is the first time you're seeing one of these episodes, this is my mock building series where I go through every week and show my progress on my Coruscant mock, which depicts the scene where Ahsoka escapes from the Republic base on Coruscant after being wrongly accused of assassination and attempts to escape and flee into the underworld. We get a lot of work done this week, including actually starting the Republic base in the back, so make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video to see that. As well, leave a like on the video if you do enjoy, and of course subscribe to the channel if you're new. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so we're going to start this week off with an unboxing from lego.com. So I've been waiting on this one for a while. I actually have two big packages coming for Coruscant. This was the second one I ordered. The first one still hasn't shown up, so I don't know how much progress I'm going to be able to make with that one. But yeah, you can see in here we have just a ton of different pieces. Obviously, I'm going to try and skim over this as quickly as possible. You can see we've got some clone heads, loads and loads of dark bluish grey pieces. I think one of the main things I bought was a load of these pieces right here, as well as these ones, these sort of different brackets that will help me make the front section of the secret rooms. So I'll be able to work on that a lot more soon as we get into the next couple of weeks. We also got a load of black tile. That's just going to be really useful for mocks in the future. You can sort of skim through and see a few of the different pieces that I've ordered. Obviously there's some Nougat pieces in here which aren't for Coruscant, but all of the grey pieces will probably be used, as well as some of these clone heads and that sort of thing. But yeah, pretty happy with this order and I'm glad it's finally came. Hopefully the other one will arrive soon so I can start working on some other stuff that I need for Coruscant. But yeah, this will definitely help me nonetheless. But let's get into some progress. So with those new pieces, I thought it was time to work on the hidden room. So you can see I started with just a flat plate right here. I added a couple of tiles in either corner just for the bracket pieces, so they'll sit flush with the base. Then I took my prototype right here and I halved it so that it was only one plate thick. And I built up a wall right around the edge. I need some feedback, guys. What do you think I should put in these rooms? I'm thinking about maybe having the prison cells or something like that, but let me know. There's 3 of these rooms I need to fill up. This is just like the prototype, and you can see this is pretty much how they fit straight into the actual mock itself, and I can just remove them whenever I want to work on them. But yeah, pretty happy with the way this looks, and I think it definitely looks nicer with the one thick wall. Okay, so after working on those secret rooms for a little bit and sort of running out of ideas, I decided to try and work on this section right here. Obviously I still have to raise up the platform to the next level, but I thought I could start working on some sort of modular areas for this that I could just put in once I've raised it all up to the correct height. So my first thing I wanted to work on was this area right here. So behind the turret there's a couple of sloped sections that raise up into the base, and so I present to you my first prototype for this area right here, and that is this right here. So this is a very early prototype. I'm thinking about changing this up a little bit. However, right now what I managed to get in was this blue line that you see running up the sides of the buildings here, and then that first slope right there. Then I've got this second slope right here which is slightly steeper. You can see this second section is much steeper there, and this is the first one, that is the second one, and I'm pretty happy with this. I think I want to change this up quite a bit. I might make these areas a bit thinner and try and use a different technique for these, but yeah, overall pretty happy with how this is looking right now. It's just a sort of prototype to gather how big I want this to be, where I want it to be and stuff like that. And then these middle sections are going to be made using snot. So for example, they're going to be basically a giant version of these little slopes right here. So you can see the middle section is actually a different sort of piece on top of a plate. However, the sides are made with the slopes. So basically what I'm going to have is like a plate right here at an angle, and that'll run up, and then I'll have loads of details on there, and then I'll do the same for this area over here. But yeah, so far this is how it's looking. Obviously going to have one of these mirrored on the other side as well. I added a few little details in, but I'm definitely not happy with how detailed this is. I'll probably be changing this up quite a bit, but I'm just using this as a prototype, so I'd love to hear your feedback on this so far. But yeah, I'm going to carry on working on this probably in this episode, try and get a bit more done, and then obviously when I do raise up that back section, I can just try and make an area where I can just sort of pop this in and it will fit in perfectly, and do the same for the other one, so I don't have to sort of halt progress until I get the section raised up, so I can start working on stuff before I get that raised section built up. Yeah, I'm going to get some more progress done and cut back in when I do. So I thought quickly before I got some more progress done, I'd show you exactly where I'm putting this. So it's going to be modular like these turrets are. So basically it's going to go in the corner here. I think it will be a little bit bigger potentially, and it will definitely look thicker once everything's built up and everything, and it will definitely go quite high. Obviously I don't have a ton of space to work with, but I think I'm going to be pretty happy with how this will turn out. And then there's going to be one mirrored in the alternate corner as well. But yeah, pretty happy with how that looks. I just thought I'd show you this just so you guys can get a bit of a better look as to where this is going to go, but obviously it's going to be raised up as I've mentioned in previous episodes. And we have progress, guys. So you can see I've made a ton of progress on this area right here. You can see what I've done now is added in that piece down the middle. So that's just a plate running down the middle at an angle using some hinges and stuff. And I've tried to add in some trans blue elements just to sort of represent the windows and that sort of thing that you see on the actual build. Then I've sort of gone up here and I've added in a few different tiles and stuff just to add a few more details. You can kind of see there's some sort of textured areas as we go up on the outside. If you zoom in on that picture right there, you can see I'm actually out of these slopes in dark bluish grey. So the top ones are light bluish grey. Obviously they will be switched out for the final mock once I've ordered them, but right now for prototyping I think this looks pretty good. The floor will be grey, so it will just slot in nicely with the other sort of grey tiles that are going to be around it. You can see I've added in this trans clear going all the way up the middle, or trans blue, sorry, and then a few different notches and stuff coming out. Obviously it's not the most super detailed, I don't have the most amount of space to work with for this, but yeah, it's going to continue to go up a bit further than this, probably to about here or so, and then have a tiny bit on the top. Then obviously we've got this area here. This hasn't even been started. I'm going to have to order some more hinges. I'm completely out of the hinges that are used to sort of connect these pieces in because I've been using them on a few different builds. But yeah, basically what I'm going to put here is a big sort of set of plates running up here, similar to this, but just a wider and larger version. I'm going to add loads of details and stuff like that in here. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking so far of this. Obviously all of this is just filler brick in the back, but yeah, pretty happy with the way this is actually looking. I think it's going to turn out pretty nicely, and I'm really excited to get this whole area built up and order the parts to finish off this area as well. Okay, so if you've been following this series or following the channel in general for a while, you'll know that I'm sponsored by a company named Minifig Customs UK, and right here we have a couple more figs that have been sent to me from Minifig Customs. I have a pilot body in the 501st color scheme and another pilot in the regular color scheme, so I'm going to add these to my Coruscant mock. This guy is definitely going to make it into the mock alongside the other pilots that I've already got. This guy might not make it into the Coruscant mock, but damn, he looks amazing nonetheless. But yeah, I thought I'd just mention that in this video. Huge shout out to Minifig Customs, and if you guys want to go check them out, there'll be a link down below and you can use my code SWBricks10 for 10% off. So now it's time to start work on the second one of these two sections for the actual base. So let's go ahead and do this. I'll hop into a time lapse and I'll cut back in after I've got some progress done. So there we go, we have a bit more progress done. I've started to build the second version. Obviously we are very limited with the amount of pieces, specifically the slopes that we have. These are all my tall dark bluish grey slopes, and these are all of the shorter ones, and you can see I am pretty low on those. I'm gonna have to do some big brickling quarters, but yeah, gonna be finishing this off pretty soon. Pretty happy with the way this is looking, and this is probably going to be the last bit of progress I get done on this for this week. But yeah, you can see I sloped this bit off at the top. I think that adds a nice little effect to it, but yeah, overall I think that's looking pretty good, and I think it will look even better when all of these are dark grey, as well as when all of this is input into here, when this is all filled in and everything like that, and then I'll go all the way around the outside. And you can see I've started to do the same thing on this side as well. So I've done as much as I can really with this before I can really sort of fill up the internal sections, as well as sort of know where everything's going to go. So I've sort of come to a point where I can't really build any more on these this week, but definitely let me know what you're thinking of these. I'm pretty happy with the way they're looking. Obviously these will just be able to slot straight in, and then I'll just have like the grills maybe continue onto the pattern of the floor, so it nicely flows into the base. But yeah, obviously I didn't want to make these too big because I want to have the big area with the flags in the center. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the size I went with these. It could be a little bit bigger. I think ideally it would have been giant, like triple the size, quadruple the size, but I think with regards to the size that I'm actually going with for the mock, I think I'm pretty happy with it. So one last thing I wanted to talk about in this episode is both the layout of the mock and a few comments that you guys had in the last episode. So firstly, you were talking about the turrets maybe being too small on top. I think that's pretty accurate. I think maybe slightly too small, but I'm pretty happy with the way I managed to get the rounded design. And then I really like the way these sort of areas are slanted out. I think a few people didn't like that, but I think it really fits the scene quite well. But let me know what you think of this. That was just some comments you guys had on the actual turrets. Then with regards to the way the rest of the mock is going to be laid out, of course the turrets are here. Then we have these big sections behind them that I've been working on today. You can see those are just there. And then where these flags are right here is where those sort of little medium nougat blocks right there are. They'll probably be moved further out actually, and then in the middle we'll have this big flag right here, and then potentially we'll have the clone trooper statues. I'm not entirely sure. I might try and just do one of them in the back there, but I don't want it to be too big and I don't want it to dwarf the sides. So what I might do is just have the sort of front section of the flags coming out here, so I have plenty of room for the Republic symbol. But let me know what you think of this area. Obviously there's still a ton left to do. Need to order the parts to finish all those slopes off, as well as much more. So let me know how you're thinking this mock is turning out. Of course, again, this will be raised up, so everything from this point forwards will be raised up, and there'll be some steps running diagonally here in front of the Republic symbol, you know, the ones that we see Ahsoka run down before she gets into the piping area. Then obviously you have this lower section here that's pretty much complete. All I need to do now is work out where the Republic symbol is going to go, how big it's going to be and how thick it's going to be mainly, so then I can work out how high I can raise the rest of this up. It probably won't be more than that sort of width right there, but yeah, I think it's going to be pretty sick when I do get it all up to the right height. And then obviously when I do, I can just leave areas, leave little squares that I can just drop these into, and same with those back pieces as well. So that'll be pretty useful. And then what I just need to do is work on all the flags and stuff, and then we're pretty much getting close to the end of the mock. Obviously still got to work on the hidden rooms that are in here. I still haven't really worked on these at all, so definitely leave your comments and feedback in the comment section down below for what you think I should put in these rooms. Obviously they are lit up. If you haven't seen them, go check out the previous episodes. There's tons of different episodes where I've talked about how I lit these up and that sort of thing, so definitely go check them out. If you haven't already, go check out the whole series, see the plan from the start and see how it's built up to this point so far. But let me know what you think of this episode so far, guys. Leave a like down below if you did enjoy, and of course subscribe to the channel if you are new. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.